Hi guys, welcome back to my side of YouTube. This is your sign to drink water, by the way. Anyway, so today I've decided to do the Christian girl tag. I saw a couple of people do this, and I feel like more people should be doing these things. Okay, like like how on BookTube is like the BookTube newbie tag. I feel like the Christian girl tag or the Christian boy tag is same questions. You just put hashtag Christian girl tag or hashtag Christian boy tag and answer these questions. There's like 9 questions, and then the 10th is just you tagging people, because I personally think like this would be such a great way for us as Christians to support other Christians, other small Christian channels that exist, or big Christian channels that exist. But I think this should be like this would be a cool thing to be like the first video that like almost all Christians record, just like on BookTube. The first video that most booktubers or a lot of booktubers record is the BookTube newbie tag. Then the Christian girl tag or the Christian boy tag could be a cool one to start off people's channels. And then afterwards, then they can talk about what their channel is going to be about and all that kind of stuff, like their second video. But anyways, let's get into the questions. So the first question is, how long have you been saved and when did you become saved? So I've been saved for, 5 to 7 years. Between 5 to 7 years is how long I've been saved. Because like it was kind of like a journey between grade 5 to 7. So that's why I'm like between 5 to 7. Yeah, I've been saved for 5 to 7 years. Take with that what you will, because yeah, God started changing things in grade 5, and then everything was like completed, and well, not completed, but like everything was like now more solid and more like I'm dedicating my life to the Lord thing in grade 7. So 5 to 7 years. If we're gonna go with the grade 7 timeline, I've been saved for 5 years. If we're gonna be going with the grade 5 one, then I've been saved for 7 years. And then when did you become saved? Well, I became saved between the grade 5 to grade 7. So I was between the ages of how old was I in grade 5? 12 to 14. Yeah, between the ages of 12 to 14 is when I got saved. And then the second question is, what's your favorite Bible verse and what does it mean to you? Ha ha ha. All right, so my first one, the one that I always talk about, Galatians chapter 5 verse 22 to 23, which says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law. That is my favorite one, one of my favorites. However, I also love the whole of Psalm 1, which is just 6 verses, and the whole of Psalm 139. Yeah, that one's a bit of a longer one. Psalm 139, I love Psalm 139. I love Genesis 1 verse 27, that talks about like how man and woman were made in God's image. I mean, guys, Philippians 4 verse 8, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be made known to God. Well, Philippians chapter 4 verse 8 to 9. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 8 to 10. Yeah, there's a couple of like my favorite verses, but like the one that I always talk about is Galatians chapter 5 verse 22 to 23. But I have more, because I personally my aunt just saw me. Anyway, I personally believe that like that is how we are to live. We are to fulfill the fruit of the Spirit in our lives every single day. That's why I love the fruit of the Spirit so much, because it's a great reminder that we are supposed to treat people with love. We are supposed to always have joy, peace. We need to be patient, kind, all these different things. We need to be those things to people, but we also need to just be those things, because that's what showcases to other people the fruit that we are saved, the fruit that the Spirit lives within us. So yeah, that's why I love the fruit of the Spirit, because it's like an accountability partner going, hey, have you been loving? Have you been joyful? Have you been a peacemaker? Have you been love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control? Have you been any of these things? So it's always a good reality check, going, have you been those things? No? Okay, let's find out ways where we can change so that we can become more loving, more joyful, more peaceful, more patient, with more self-control, more kindness, more gentleness, all those kinds of things. So it's just yeah. And then, what is your favorite Christian book? Guys, if you have not read Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus by Nabil Qureshi, I think that's how you say his surname, please, I am begging you, go and give it a read. Whether you read it online, whether you buy a physical book, I don't care, just read it. That book is amazing. As the title says, Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus. Man's was seeking Allah, and then as time goes by and all that kind of stuff, he started, talking with a Christian, aka David Wood. David used to be on YouTube. He's not on YouTube anymore. But and then he started talking to David Wood, and they started having discussions about like faith and having, and debates, basically, kind of, talking about like the evidence supporting Christianity, the evidence supporting Islam. And he saw that the evidence for Christianity was much greater than the evidence for Islam. So he converted. Like, that is just such a beautiful story. You have to read it. It's an apologetics book as well, because like I didn't even realize at the time when I was reading it that like it was an apologetics book. I only came to find out later, because when I read it in 2019, I think, the first time I read it, then I read it again this year. Wait, was it 2019 the first time I read it, or 2019 was the first time that I read it, and then I think I read it again last year or read it again this year. I'm not really sure, but I do remember, because when I remember first I read Redeeming Love, and then I read I think I read Redeeming Love first, and then I read Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus, or I was reading them at the same time. I don't know. All I know is that I loved that book, and I was this close to tears, and I was like, oh my gosh, everyone needs to read this book. Everyone needs to read this book. The way he wrote the book was so beautiful. There was funny moments. It was just so beautiful. It will literally, like, for me at least, it just sparked my faith and my love for God, and I just went, let's go and evangelize to everybody. Like, that was literally me when I was done. I'm like, let's go. But then I had nowhere to go. So yeah, but it sparks your love for God, and it just helps you to see from maybe like a different religion's perspective, like, because the first 80 to 100 pages, the first 80 pages or so, 60 to 80 pages is about his life as a Muslim, and then after the 60 to 80 pages, we now see him in college or university, how he reacted to 9/11, because when 9/11 happened, he was still a Muslim, all of these things, and we just see his faith journey, and how, at first he held so tightly to Islam, Muslim beliefs and Islam, but as time went by and the evidence showcased itself and all these different things, he started chipping holes in his faith, and until eventually it unraveled, and many different confirmations took place in the book, in his life, which he's writing down, which eventually evidence, dreams, those things lead him to Christianity. So yeah, it's such an amazing book. You have to read it. Read Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus, please. Okay. And then, what's your favorite thing about church? I mean, I love community. I love, all the different people coming together. So many different kinds of Christians. Some who you can learn from, some who you should not learn from, probably. Like, you just learn so much about how being a Christian isn't just this one thing. It has so many different faces, because we're all different human beings, we're all unique, and we're showcasing our faith in so many different ways. So I love the community aspect of church, and how friendly church people are. Oh, they're so sweet. And I also love that you get the opportunity to learn certain skills and stuff, because like I'm on the like media team at my church currently, doing like the lyrics and like the scriptures and all that kind of stuff that you see on screens. Like that's me, I'm that person. But like church also really invites people to bring their skills. Like if you're if you know how to play an instrument, they would love to have you on the band. If you wanted to learn how to do certain media things, so like the behind the scenes stuff, that when it comes to church, ask someone who's in the media team. They will be glad to have you. So I love that church is also there to build people's skills. Like it's so beautiful. Anyway, question 6: if you could meet Jesus right now, what would your first question / action be? Oh, I'd hug him and I'd thank him for all the things he has done, and then I need him to explain some passages, because some stuff don't make sense, so I'm like, Lord, so here and here, I need your help because I'm lost. And then I want to find out from him, what does he want me to do with my life, minus the things that I'm already doing. Because sometimes it's like, Lord, I don't know what to do. What must I, should I be doing this? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing this? And I think if he was like in the flesh, it would be so much easier to be like, Lord, what do I need to be doing with my life? You are God, so you are omniscient. Tell me, since you're all knowing. Tell me, please, so that I can write it down and I can know for the future. And then, I don't know, any advice that he knows that all Christians would need, I would definitely, I think I'd just be asking him a bunch of questions. And then I'd want to go and have like a coffee date with him or something. Like, let's go drink coffee or tea or whatever you want to drink. Jesus, go drink whatever you want to drink. Let's go, let's hang out, let's talk. Let's talk, because I want to learn more about the humanity side. I'd also want to know from Jesus, like, what was it like that first 30 years before he started his ministry? What was it like? Like, was it his siblings always getting in trouble? Were Mary and Joseph always using him as the moral example, or as the example of the good kid? Like, I'd love to know so many things about Jesus' life before his ministry. I think that would be so cool. And then even during the ministry, what was all of that like? Being truly God and truly man. Like, how do you reconcile those things? And then the next question, which is 7, is oddest place that you have ever prayed. So I mean, I don't think there's ever a odd place to pray, but like, on the toilet. Yeah, I guess that's the oddest place I've ever prayed. But I think a lot of people pray in the bathroom, doing different things, where they're bathing, brushing their teeth, washing their face, washing themselves, using the toilet. I think a lot of people pray in the bathroom, so I don't think it's the oddest place I've ever prayed. I don't think there's an odd place to pray. So yeah. And then number 8 is, are you ready if Jesus were to come tomorrow? I would hope so. Because again, we're not saved by works, we're saved by grace through faith, so yeah. But I mean, what would we all do if we were like, yeah, Jesus is coming tomorrow? Would we all just like drop everything we're doing and start like shoving that down people's throats, or like would we keep doing what we're doing? Like, it's a question, it's a question I have too. Like, what would we do if Jesus were to come tomorrow? Like, would all of us just go and like evangelize to the streets and stuff, or would we keep doing what we're doing? I don't know. Hopefully I'm ready if he were to come tomorrow. Yeah, I'm just saying hopefully. Question 9, how do you openly share your faith? Well, this YouTube channel is one of the ways I openly share my faith. My Instagram accounts is how I openly share my faith. With people, when I talk to people, I just talk about Jesus and all of those things. Like, yeah, I think those are ways. Those are ways in which I share my faith. I'm sure there's probably other ways as well that I'm not thinking about, but yeah. Anyways, and then question 10 is, who do you tag? And I added this in again because of how I think this could be like a community thing. So I think I don't know her name, but she has a channel called Abide in Him. I'm tagging her for the Christian Gold tag. Who else would I want to tag? You know, I'd have to think about this, but I'll put their channel names on here, and I'll also put their channel names in the description to tag some people, because I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to find like small Ava Calhoun, I think that's how you say your surname. I'm tagging her. Just Jess, tagging her. Yeah, I will just put these people's channel names on here, and if you don't see the channel names, if I don't have enough space on the screen, I will just put it down in the links, and I'll just tag all those people, do the Christian Gold tag, answer all these questions, and I'll also put the questions in the description so that it's just easier to answer from there. So anyways, sorry that I have much less energy from this. It's just frustrations with phone storage. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. If you don't, please take it to the Lord. Know that I love you. Know that Jesus loves you 50 billion times more than I do. And I'll see you in another one. Bye, guys.